Not all is quiet on the Western Front in the Steel City. Yet again, a story bouncing around, if you didn't see this, maybe not, involving the status of the head coach of the Pittsburgh football team. Is it true that former Steeler offensive lineman Willie Colon thinks that the head coach there, Mike Tomlin, is on the hot seat because of his performance in the playoffs, the team's performance in the playoffs? Now, this guy played 6 seasons in Western Pennsylvania. During a recent televised rant on FS1, he did not bite his tongue, saying again that Tomlin on the hot seat. So question, buy or sell Mike Tomlin legitimately on the Steelers hot seat. So I've got Golden Arches, Itchy, and Sake. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a glutton for punishment is what we're going to make. Apparently the bell broke. All right, so to kick off here, I am going to sell. I'm going to sell this. I'm not going to buy this. I'm going to sell this. Now, a couple of reasons why. Right? The main reason is I have been burned too many times. Over the years, if you've listened to this show, you know that I have done many a rant about Mike Tomlin, fire Mike Tomlin, he's in danger. I have this love-hate relationship with Tomlin. I love the soundbite, right? You know, fat and sassy and all the different sound bites that Tomlin gives us. It's a wonderful thing, right? You know, every whack job that does this for a living loves those sound bites. There's few things better than Mike Tomlin saying something dopey and going on and on and on. But he's not going anywhere, right? I will believe it when I see the Steelers introduce a new head coach and Tomlin going and doing television. The Steelers, for better or worse, are run like the Golden Arches, maintain consistency like McDonald's. Tomlin is also like a tenured professor at one of those college campuses with an encampment in the middle of the campus. Like, you look at the recent resume, and it screams change. Tomlin has gone 7 seasons without a playoff win. Forget the Super Bowl. 7 seasons without a playoff win. Since winning the Super Bowl with, as I've been told by many people, Bill Cowher's players in 2010, the Steelers have played in 11 postseason games. They are 3-8 in the postseason. They've lost 5 straight playoff games. Garbage in, garbage out. But they're always at least 500 or better. Now, Tomlin this year, the main reason I'm not buying the chatter that Tomlin is on the hot seat and all that, the main reason why is because Tomlin has an ace up his sleeve. And what is the ace in the hole? The ace in the hole is Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Those are my quarterbacks. And that is bullpucky is what that is. And that should buy him a little more time. Although it is true that Mike Tomlin was there and drafted Kenny Pickett, who was supposed to be the heir to the Roethlisberger throne, only to see him not be able to play and be sent off to Philadelphia. Now, furthermore, we head now to sportscaster J.J. Watt. I say that in air quotes. Sportscaster J.J. Watt, who said over the weekend that he'd come back. He'd like to come back, but he only wants to play for the Texans. And that's only if Houston is desperate for him that he will be willing to play in 2024. He says this is the last time. This is it. Last chance saloon that J.J. Watt would even consider coming back out of retirement to play. Saying over the weekend, quote, I told D'Amico last year, that's the coach, I said, don't call unless you absolutely need it, but if you ever do call, I'll be there. Oh, that's very nice. He said, I'll be there, but he knows not to call unless he absolutely needs it. So how do you decode J.J. Watt flirting with a comeback to the Texans? So this is an Occam's razor situation. The simplest answer is most often the correct one. And Watt realizes he's not very good at broadcasting. Right? He's kind of just another ex-jock. There's nothing magical about J.J. Watt as a broadcaster. So another meathead on television. Dime a dozen. But Watt is also, he's getting itchy. He's getting itchy, and he's got an itch to keep playing, and that's why he's working out like a beast. He's in the same workout regime that he did when he was playing. And it's not because he likes to look good in a banana hammock on the beach. He's doing that because he plans on playing. So he wants the Texans coach, D'Amico Ryans, to help scratch that itch. It's like the Itchy and Scratchy show. And he's clearly banking. It's obvious he's banking that C.J. Stroud's going to have another year of success, that he'll move up higher on the ladder of success. And now with Stephon Diggs, the ex-Bills Mafia guy, and some unfinished business, that he will get it done. And you know, but when he was playing J.J. Watt with the Texans, they made the playoffs a lot, but they didn't do anything. But inevitably, it is a guarantee. It is a guarantee that someone on the defensive front is going to get hurt. And it's also a guarantee that D'Amico Ryans will be calling J.J. Watt, hey, how would you like to come back and play for the Texans? And everyone will go nuts and they'll go crazy and all that. Planting the seed. All right, last thing here. We now head to Tokyo. That is where the Cowboys star Micah Parsons recently tested himself. I don't know if you saw this video, went viral over the weekend, video bouncing around the pinball machine of Micah Parsons testing himself against a sumo wrestler in the viral moment in Japan. We're told Micah Parsons, part of a goodwill tour, barnstorming tour of Asia, alongside the aforementioned C.J. Stroud, Texans quarterback. Parsons matched up one-on-one with a unnamed sumo wrestler in Tokyo. Now, if you didn't see the video, I'll paint the picture. In the first attempt, the first clip of the video, you see that Parsons is pushed outside the circle. My limited sumo knowledge tells me that he lost that. And then in the second battle, the rematch, Parsons did get his revenge, but it was not easy. So what do you think of Micah Parsons struggling against some rando sumo wrestler in Japan? So this is, I would say, eye-opening is the way I would describe this. Because on one side you have Micah Parsons, a fine, chiseled specimen made out of stone, built like a Greek god. Micah Parsons. Workout wonder. No body shaming Micah Parsons. Then on the other side, you got this big fat sumo guy, but he wasn't like, there are some supersized sumo. And this isn't it. Like, this is like a mid-size or a smaller version of a sumo wrestler. Not a, as my friend Vic the Brick would say, not a Yokozuna. Does not appear to be a Yokozuna based on what I saw. And yet this guy with just a chubby, overweight body was able to beat Micah Parsons. Think about that. Parsons, that first round, it looked like he had been sipping too much sake, that fermenting rice there in the first matchup. And then in the second, he scratched and clawed and got out. Now, the lesson here, forget about Micah Parsons. That's embarrassing, right? But, you know, whatever, fine. It's a video. People forget about it. We move on to other things. But if you're the NFL, and you're kicking around different places trying to find players. I know it's very popular to get players out of New Zealand and Australia right now. And the Aussie Rules football people, for example, are popular. But why wouldn't you try, just for S and giggles, get a sumo guy, like a mid-sized sumo guy, like the guy that took on Micah Parsons, and turn them into a guard or a center? Or maybe a defensive player like a nose tackle. Maybe it'd be better defensive tackle. Or nose tackle right over the center. But why wouldn't you go there? Now, I don't know if they'd want to do it. I'm not sure how much the sumo guys make in Tokyo. That's a very popular sport. I'm assuming they make a lot of money. But you can make a lot of money in the NFL. So come on down. Why not? Imagine the tush push. Stopping it if you have a sumo lined up over the center. Or if your center is a sumo and happens to be a Yokozuna. And then what do you do? How about that one?